Are you ready for some fishing? Whoa, jig eater. It's on the inside of that point. Mm-hmm. See. Pulled up here and throw it all over that point. Boy, that's actually where he should have been, and they get on just on the inside of it. Got bit. I got him. Frog eater. Oh, he got it too. He got it. Oh, jumper. He's still digging. He's had enough. He was right up on the bank. Thought he was gonna get him a crawdad. See, buddy. You know, a lot of times early in the morning, folks, you don't be afraid to throw that bait right up there on the bank. Sometimes it don't make no difference if it even lands on the bank and you pull it off in the water. Them old fish are just sitting right there watching, and anything that moves around them like that, they think something's jumped off in the water like a frog, and they're ready to eat. Especially real early in the morning like that, they get really, really extremely shallow. Here he comes. He got it. I seen him coming. Oh, I seen him coming after it. That's too much fun right there. Too much fun. Oh. Got it. Got that guy. Frog eater. Come up here, buddy. Frog eater. A bad little chunk. Back in the back of them pads. All right. El Percho. Got it. As soon as it hit the water, he got it. He's going yonder way. Come on up here, buddy. That frog got you in the side of the head. Little chunk. Oh, see you. What happens? You mess with the old pad crasher. Dude got them hooks on it. He'll put them on you. And they sharp as a needle. He got it. Oh, he's going to that tree. Oh, he went right over there and hung me up. God dog it. There he comes. He sure did. He went right over and hung me up. You want to do a pad crasher? There we go. Not a bad little chunky. Let's see. We pulled out there at the edge of that grass. And he said, I'll get that. It's getting away. Boy, we're rolling right up on a big old cottonmouth. Woo! That is a genuine cottonmouth. And he ain't afraid of nothing. He ain't afraid of nothing. He got it then. Yeah, I mean he got it. Woo! Oh, he got off. God dog it. Well, I'm glad everybody got a good look at him anyway. Dang, that's a nice fish. That got it. It's hard to get them out. I mean, if your frog don't land in the water back there, you may have to pull it 6 or 8 feet to get it till you find a spot where to pop off in the water. These fish are really extremely shallow back there, and I think they're back there feeding on bluegill, because you can hear them running and blowing up back there and that stuff. I'd probably just be better off just jumping, get in the water and wade out there. He got it. That's a good one. I can get him out of there. That's a good one. That's a good fish. Come on, buddy. There you coming. That frog is gone. Frog is gone. I got you now. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Y'all think he didn't want to eat that frog? Look at there. He wanted the pad crasher. I mean, he wanted it. Got a little spot here. I got him now. There we go. Golly, he's bleeding a little bit, but I want to get him back in the water real quick. There he goes. He'd be in good shape. Pad crasher strikes again. Say what, there ain't nothing like throwing one of these things back in the lily pads. Having a giant like that crush it. Woo, I love it. Okay, folks, I want to talk a little bit about my tools that I'm using today. You know, I'm kind of like an auto mechanic. I got to have the right tool for the right job. What I'm using here, this is the Abu Garcia Veritas, 6'9", medium heavy action. The reel that I'm using, Abu Garcia Revo Premier. It's got 6:3 to 1 gear ratio. I mean, I still got a high speed, but still yet I've got a lot of power that I can power these fish out of these lily pads that I'm fishing today. Line is very important. I mean, when you're fishing a heavy cover like that, you don't need to use anything less than braid. 50-pound spider wire ultra cast. I mean, that is the deal. That's what you want to be using. No less than 50 pound. The bait that I'm using, I mean, the Booyah Pad Cracher. I mean, what an awesome little bait. I mean, a couple things I like about it is that this thing is really soft. I mean, when a fish clamps down on that thing, I mean, you can see right there, he's going to get the hooks. The little lifelike legs. I mean, when he sets in the water, it looks just like he's alive. And another thing I really like about it is you can launch this thing a long ways. I mean, and that was really important on some of the fish that we was catching today, was to be able to throw this thing way back in the backs of them pads. Very important. As you can see, the Pad Crasher comes in several different colors. You know, folks, you can pick all this stuff up at Dick's Sporting Goods. So let's head back out on the water and see if we can catch a few more fish before quitting time. A wee one. Ought to get him a little crawdad anyway. Swimming through them weeds. Another monster. Come out of the nursery. See. I ain't got it. Come up here, bud. Want some of that little swim jig. I mean, he wanted it. Look like a bullet. Adios. I got that. He just come up here and hit it like a topwater. Come aboard, buddy. Yeah, he seen that thing was getting away. He said, I better stop that. That's a nice fish right there. That's a good chunk. I'll let you go. Adios. Yeah, I was just reeling it. I'd been working it through there, and then I just started kind of reeling it back slow, and he smacked it. Did you see that one? He jumped from over the top of it. That's what you call wanting it right there. He jumped from up out of the water down on it. That's what you call wanting it. There you go. He said, I'll get that. Come up in here. Oh, I mean, you got it. God dog it. Not a bad one. Oh, he about to give me a bath. Well, that was a perfect spot, folks. It's just right on the end of this little point right here. There was some grass out there on it, and come hopping the old Pad Crasher through there. He said, I'll take it. He got it then. He give himself away. I heard him back there blowing up. I heard him back there blowing up. Oh, he wanted the pad crasher. That little chunky thing. Let's see. You know, folks, you get back here in a lot of these pads and stuff, if you pay attention to what's going on, you'll hear a lot of these fish back here. They'll give themselves away. And that's exactly what happened to that fish right there. I heard him back there blowing up, and I fired the old pad crasher in there, and that was all over. He couldn't stand it. He had to have it. But lots of little things like that can kind of get you keyed in. You know, when you're fishing a specific place, that can kind of get you keyed in and help you catch some fish. So you always want to pay attention to what's going on around you. And that's what's happening here. These fish are way, way back in these pads, and they're back there chasing bluegill. I believe the bluegill are trying to spawn. And they're back there chasing them. And you just watch the pads and stuff. I mean, you can see them running through them pads and blowing up in there. And a lot of times, if you can get a bait in there to them, you can get bit. Got that. Bring him on. Don't get off. This is what you got to get into. This is why you use 50-pound braid. That's right. You think he didn't want to eat the pad crasher? I mean, he wanted it. I hear another back there. Away he went. Folks, you wouldn't believe how shallow these fish are back here. Unbelievable. There's two little ditches going in there. And what happens is, folks, you see these little, in the backs of these creeks, a lot of times there's like little small ditches, and them fish will run up. They'll run up because it's got just a little bit more deeper water in the ditch. So them fish will run up there, and that's because I just heard a fish blow up way back up in there, and that's what he's in. He's in that little bitty ditch that runs up through there because the water's a little bit deeper, but it's still extremely shallow. He got it then. Told you I was a good one. Wasn't bad. Boy, he's skinny. Oh, he needs to eat. He ain't big I thought he was, but I think there was a bigger fish in there because he sure was making a big old wake.
Thanks for watching this week's Hooked on Fishin' with your host, Mark Owens. Be sure and join Mark again next week at this same time. Hooked on Fishin' with Mark Owens. Brought to you by the following fine sponsors: